God damn it. One friggin' health left. Hi there, guys. Octavian here. Thanks for coming along, and I've got a few things I would like to talk about today. Well, actually, one thing in particular, as you may have noticed from the title. It's a little bit of an odd title as far as TF2 videos go, but you are going to be learning something today, most likely. I mean, some of you probably already know this. It is not exactly uncommon information, but it's very interesting, and I think a lot of you probably don't know, and I don't know. I'd be interested to learn this if I didn't know it, so I'm extending the favor to you all. Did you know that the word phlogistonator has a root? The name of the Pyro's flamethrower, which so many people hate with such a passion, does indeed have a root, and it's from a scientific theory that was proposed in the late 1600s, around 1667 is when it was originally stated by J.J. Becher, who is a self-proclaimed alchemist and physician, and it's called the phlogiston theory, and it's a scientific theory that said that there was a fire-like element called the phlogiston, which was contained within anything that burned, any combustible body, and was released during that burning. The name is derived from the ancient Greek word for flame, phlox, which is where the phlo sound at the beginning of phlogiston comes from. And it didn't just explain burning things. It didn't just reach that far. The phlogiston theory actually had quite a hold on the scientific world. It lasted for nearly 100, well, more than 100 years actually, around 1667 up until 1770 or so. I'm not entirely sure of the exact date when it was disproven, but more than 100 years went by where we were really far down the rabbit hole in terms of the phlogiston theory. They used it to explain quite a few things. They actually believed that when a human being was breathing out, they were releasing phlogistons because they noticed that people are warm, so they deduced that the metabolic process released phlogistons, released that element, and that human beings would breathe it out. They thought that we were some sort of phlogiston-expelling elemental creature, and in addition to that, they believed that phlogistons were in some way responsible for oxidization of metal, for rusting, essentially. It's a very interesting set of theories in terms of scientific history, even though their scientific value is obviously not of great merit, but one of the ways that they used to justify this theory, one of the ways that they used to try and prove it, was they explained away the phenomena of when you put a flame into a more confined area with less air. We know that fire, to burn, needs oxygen, and so in a area with less air, it has less oxygen, thus it burns out more quickly. However, they believed that air had a capacity for phlogistons that could be filled. So as the fire burned, it was, in their philosophy, releasing phlogistons, and the air would eventually reach capacity, and once it did so, the fire would have nowhere to place the phlogistons that it was creating through burning, and so the fire would go out. It's kind of interesting exactly how opposite that theory is to the reality, and yet it can be reached through the same sorts of observations that we reached our current and hopefully correct theory, correct to all the ways that we can test it. It's just an interesting way, it's an interesting thought experiment to look at this and consider exactly how wrong we were with the same set of observations as how right we are now. Kind of makes you think about maybe not every conclusion that you come to is going to be the correct one right away. Anyways, that's all I had to say today. I'll be talking to you all again tomorrow or the day after, whenever I release my next video. Hopefully you enjoyed. See you all later.